My name is Baeginning. I am a professional Fall Guys player, and one of the things that I commonly do on my stream is actually help people get better at Fall Guys. I like to coach them, I like to give them tips. I often get a lot of questions, but it's really hard to answer a question in the moment. And I think that what I love to do is I really like to be able to break down videos, and I like to break down clips to explain them in a way that everybody can understand them. Especially because Fall Guys, at the root of its gameplay, there's only really three buttons: your jump, your dive, and your grab. There's not many anything else that you can do. You can walk around, but you can turn your camera, but those aren't really buttons. So the core gameplay is a very easy barrier of entry. To understand how to do a lot of these things, I think goes a long way toward actually being able to enjoy it and get better. Today, I'm going to tell you my thought process through specifically playing Hexaring. And I think the key main things that I want you to look at here are going to be moving slow at the start. Don't try to run very much. The roller moves very slow early on, and it oftentimes will get people killed, and they'll fall off, and they'll make a mistake. Now, I think the next thing is you have to understand when to be aggressive, because being aggressive on this level is going to be absolutely huge toward the late game, because if you let yourself get cut off, you're probably not going to have any space to get to, especially on a level like this, where you can make a lot of big jumps, but you can't let yourself fall behind and not have any space to make that jump when the time comes. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull up a couple of my clips. I'm going to break them down and tell you what exactly I do in these situations, and hopefully that'll help you think about it going forward. So here I have a clip of me playing Hexaring earlier today at the time of this recording, and I'm going to hit the start button, and so you see there's about 9 people in the start of this round. Now, this is a decent-sized Hexaring at the start, so the key thing to notice is you're always going to look the direction the roller is coming. So you see the camera spawned me looking forward. That is where the roller is coming here. So you want to just, again, I take it slow, just jump back and forth. I know it's a very boring way, but look at these people. Look what's going to happen right here. That person who's running horizontal ends up just running themselves straight into the hole because they don't really have anywhere that they can go. And they're just mindlessly running back and forth, and so they bonk themselves and desync them. Whereas you see me in this pink bean, spoilers, you're going to be seeing a lot of this pink bean in this round. We're doing the same thing. Take it slow, let all the people who want to run get themselves taken out. The roller doesn't even have much speed yet, and sometimes people will fall off the front because they're running horizontal. Now, we're actually starting to get the first rotation of the rollers to come through. And so what's happening is that now we have to actually start making our decisions as to where we're going. Now you're really starting to play Hexaring here. So you see I'm kind of just still bouncing around, but now there's a couple holes that are being made here. I run a little bit because, again, I talk about how that person is going to be a little bit trying to cut me off. If I start to jump and I'm too slow, I'm just going to fall off entirely and have nowhere to go. So I'm going back to my jumping now that nobody's in front of me. Take my time with it, just kind of bounce on the yellow here. You want to make sure you kind of stay in this peak point of the roller, because it's the highest point that you can be without rocking back or forth. So you can see that I kind of try to maintain myself, and it's kind of just a feeling thing that you're going to get when you're standing here. And I'm going to start to shift a little bit over to the left, because the one thing to keep in mind is during this game, especially Hexarings in general, the people who often will fall around the minute mark are the people who don't know what tiles have already been taken out and what tiles have already been removed. If we have paid attention, we know that the right side and the middle have been run out a lot. So you're going to start to see that develop here, where look at this right side, there's not really anywhere to go, and I have to make my first jump dive. So you can cover that pretty consistently. You just have to jump and then hold your dive for a little bit of time. You don't want to immediately jump and dive. And we're already down to only 4 people left. And I think what's going to be important is actually going to be coming up here. So I'm going to let it play out at 1x speed, and then I'm going to break it down slowly so you can see what's going to happen. Because I'm going to start to shift myself over to the right side so I don't get cut off here again. Make sure that this pink bean and I are able to stay at the same spot. But now I'm going to shift over to the left, because I want to try to get these other people out. But the problem is that I actually don't even realize, taking my own advice, of how the left side is developed. So you're going to see right here, I have to turn backwards to jump over to this set of 3. And that red panda ends up falling. And then I have to make a big jump to make it across there. Okay, so you can see here, the panda is moving to the one spot that's ahead of me. And because of that, I can't follow them. I have to step myself to the side and figure out where I'm going here. The difference is that panda didn't actually maintain how high up they were, because I was talking about that center spot at the top of the roller. Because that panda dove forward past that, they ended up having all of their momentum slide them off the tile, and they ended up actually overshooting it. Whereas when I dove, I ended up getting back to like the center part exactly, which allowed me to catch up. And then you're going to see, this is an easy jump that you can make, but I want to break down right here. I'm not going to jump because you can see it's already starting to roll me backwards a little bit. And so what I think is important is you have to have momentum. You can't make that jump to the tile over there by just standing still. So I give myself a running start and I jump at that corner specifically so that I can land perfectly on that tile and I can catch myself back up. So being able to catch yourself back up there is very important. And now I'm back to the middle. So you can see here, we're back to normal speed, and that person immediately falls after because they start to go into a panic. Honestly, there really wasn't much more to say about that specific clip, but that is one of the key things there. So you see, that person ended up getting into a little bit of a panic. I stayed cool. I saw my distance that I could cover, and I think there's a lot to see in that that'll help you elevate your game. Now, I have another clip here that I want to show you. This is actually going to be a clip from my live stream, twitch.tv/Baeginning. Please follow me. I stream about 4 days a week. So again, you're going to pretty much see the same development that I had last time of take it slow. Look at all the people who are running back and forth. I'm just going to jump. We don't really see anything too different about the start. You can just see the consistency to it, though, because that's all you need is a little bit of consistency for this to actually work. So right here, we are in a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Fall Guys characters. And there's only 11 total people, so everybody is together. And you see, one person falls off the front, everybody's following around, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna go. I'm still bouncing on the blue, slowly but surely. But you can see people are starting to fall off now, kind of that big group of people. This boxer actually tries to grab me, but it doesn't really... You can't get phased at that moment, because the grab isn't going to do anything. But now you can see there's already a big gap that's being formed. And I have to avoid that. I have a little bit of a weird bounce on that tile, so I dive to make sure that I don't bounce off of the roller and bounce back. That's just kind of a quick reaction thing. There's already only 4 people that need to get taken down here. I'm going to keep bouncing. I'm going to just focus up, run a little bit forward, so again, I can maintain that height that I was telling you about here. Now we have to start making some jumps. So I'm going to stick to the left because there's less people in my way, and I know that there's, you know, the path of least resistance here. And now there's this Among Us being who is getting in my way. Now I'm trying to run in front of them. That's the aggression that I was telling you about, to make sure that they are behind me so that I'm in the power position. I know that this left side's already kind of in danger, so I have to start to look around of where I'm going to go. That jump was very difficult to make. And in all honesty, I don't know how I make that jump dive. But you're going to see here, now it's just me and Sonic. And I know that this left side's bad, but I haven't paid much attention in the middle here. And you're going to notice I don't really know what's going on, because you can see I get a little bit grabby. And then right here, if we take a look, you can see there's nothing that's really here. And so what's going to happen, I'm going to show you, I need to just keep running, and I somehow make that dive, and then I try to just go to the area with the most space to work with. And I do that. So that's just that quick reaction time that I was trying to tell you about. Look at the distance that I'm able to cover here on this jump. It's actually wild, because I don't know how I lived, neither did my chat at the time. That is, like, pixel perfect, and then I just jump horizontally, because that has the easier gap to cover. And I think that easier distance to cover goes a long way toward being able to keep yourself going if that were to continue. And then I just bounce over, and another successful victory. So overall, I think what's important to know is take it slow early on. Just kind of, you know, vibe exist. and then you're going to want to make these jumps and know the distance that you're covering there. Make sure that you remember your momentum and understand that everybody who's running horizontal is probably just going to get themselves taken out of the game early. The smoother and the more clear your head is on a level like Hexaring, the more likely you're able to make the correct decisions. Because sometimes you have to make those split-second decisions, and if you fail on that, well, you're probably going to get tumbled into the slime and you're going to try better. So with that being said, thank you very much for listening. And if you enjoy this kind of style of video breakdown for finals, do let me know. And I can do them for other levels too. So why don't you go into the comment section down below. Let me know what round you would like to see next. And yeah, I want to do more things like this. So if you like this kind of style of video, I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye!